that sometimes people need to get some training, taking a class or taking getting some kind of a certification, and what would
Absolutely.
you say to that regarding people who are of this age group?
Absolutely. Like I'm a lifelong student. It's cliche, but it's true. My poor kids, they're 6 and 9 right now. And we're listening to a motivational audiobook on the way to school today. And they're like, Dad, what is this? Like, what are you, what are you listening to? And I'm like, this is a great audiobook. I've listened to it for years. In fact, I listened to it while I was rocking you guys to sleep, back several years ago when you were babies. So the constant learning, I think, is really, really, really important, no matter what you're doing. Now, I think what's really, really key is that learning takes place however you see fit. When I was in high school, I would mentor middle school students. When I was in college, I would mentor high school students. I should have saw back then that I was really into coaching, but I just didn't put it together until decades later. My point is that it could be mentoring someone else that you're able to solidify your particular insights. It could be, I have a YouTube show at youtube.com/BrownDamon. I do a show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That could be part of your learning. Like, it could be the audiobooks that you're listening to on your way on your commute or while you're washing the dishes. It could be conversations like we're having right now. I think our concept of learning sometimes is like, we need to sit somewhere, be sturdy in class, get a certification and do that. And I don't think that's true, particularly in this day and age. There's literally millions, probably billions of hours of YouTube, Skillshare, teachable.com, the LinkedIn Learning. I can go on. And coaches like myself, there's so many other non-traditional ways to learn. And so you being a student doesn't mean you have to get your MBA or you have to get your PhD or something. Being a student means paying attention to what you need to get to the next level and putting that into your toolbox. I think it was the motivational speaker, Jim Rohn, talked about, if you want to do well, work for someone else. If you want to become wealthy, work on yourself. So all these essential things are available. And you have this opportunity to grow. And as someone just mentioned in the comments, you don't have to go to school to do that. Mm-hmm. You have school right here on your computer or on your phone. I mean, it's such a privilege to be around at this period of time. I love school, and I also love the non-traditional school. Either way, you can put some stuff in your toolbox.
I get that. And I'm also a lifetime learner. And I noticed on the chat that somebody had mentioned who has money for school. I just want to mention this because it's a lot of people don't know about it. We usually we say something about it in our trainings, but I don't know if you realize that if you have a library card, you can get into LinkedIn Learning for free. And they have so many workshops and trainings, including computer classes. So please, take a look at that, and if you don't have a library card, get one, and that's all it takes. And
please get a library card. Please get a library card.
I'm like a big library foundation and all of that stuff. It's really important to me.
Absolutely. I've worked with libraries all across the country doing nonprofit work. I was an entrepreneur in residence at the Toledo Library back in Ohio. I love libraries. They're so important. Yeah, I'm so glad that some of y'all have library cards. I'm of that generation where, probably one of the last generations where, if I was researching a book or I had to do a report or something, I was at the library. My kids are having a different experience with the library, but they definitely have their library cards. That's a requirement in my house.